The last thing you want to have are regrets when making a major life decision, and making a move fits under that category. Now, whether you're making the move by yourself, with a spouse, your family, you don't want to have regrets when moving to Los Angeles or anywhere. And more recently, I've gotten a lot of people asking me whether I think that they could potentially have regrets after moving to LA, and more specifically, if any of my clients have had those regrets. Now, thankfully, none of my clients have expressed to me that they've had regrets. In fact, it's been quite the opposite. They've enjoyed their move. They're happy they made the move. But there are a number of people leaving Los Angeles for a number of reasons. You hear it in news stories. You probably heard it from friends or family, but there's still a major draw here. So what are the concerns that I'm hearing about when making the move to Los Angeles, and what they're thinking that they may regret? Now, I've got people moving from all over the country, all over the world, even throughout Los Angeles itself, other parts of the county and other parts of California, making the move to the city of LA and the surrounding neighborhoods. And so there are these major concerns. It's an expensive move. You've got a lot going on, changing jobs, changing careers. You're loading up your truck, you're moving your whole life to get to Los Angeles. And the last thing you want to do is say, oh man, I made a huge mistake. I want to turn around and go back home. And the other side of it is, for people that have moved away from Los Angeles, when I've spoke to them, because we've helped people sell homes here and they move away, some of them, they don't necessarily have full regret moving away from Los Angeles, but they do miss a lot of parts of LA. I mean, and specifically, the weather is fantastic here. Loads of entertainment, so many things to do. And a lot of people end up moving from Los Angeles to a smaller town. And it's a major lifestyle adjustment. Just like if you're moving from a smaller town to a big city like Los Angeles, it's a major lifestyle adjustment. So it can swing both ways as far as the concern about having regrets. For a lot of my clients that have moved away from Los Angeles to the Northwest, their concern and their major, issues are the weather. It's cloudy, it's rainy for like half the year in the Northwest. You don't get that in Los Angeles. Or if some of the people that I've helped move to the Southeast, it's hot, it's humid, it's muggy, major storms, something that you're just not used to in Los Angeles. So during those stormy times, there's a little bit of regret for moving away from Los Angeles. Moving to the Northeast, you've got snow, same with the Midwest, things that they typically don't deal with. And yes, that may be all weather related, but the other thing that they talk about regret moving away from Los Angeles is that they miss the diversity, the culture, the entertainment. But this video is about the fear, the concern about you making the move to Los Angeles and having those major regrets. And I completely get it. I've moved myself. There's always going to be that fear about making the right decision. And maybe this video will help put you at ease, have a little bit less fear, a little less concern. We're going to start off with what people are most concerned about regretting, and it has to do with the cost of living. Now, cost of living, there's no sugarcoating it. It's super expensive in Los Angeles, and it's usually factored around the housing that we have here in LA, because that is going to be the biggest chunk of where your paycheck is going. The median price for a single family home is $1 million. And yeah, you heard me right. $1 million for a median home sales price in Los Angeles. And that doesn't get you a mansion. $1 million gets you a really nice home with some land in most parts of this country. But when you're talking about Los Angeles, you're talking about like a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that probably needs some updating. It's around 1,400 square feet or so. Could be less depending on where. And in some parts of LA, you can't even touch a house. You can't even purchase a house for $1 million. So that is a major concern. And if you're not prepared for that, you come here thinking that you rent here for a while and then make your home purchase and then realize you're just not able to afford that home purchase, and that was part of your dream, part of your goal when moving to Los Angeles, then yeah, you may have some regret there. Again, sticking with the cost of living and being able to afford Los Angeles, you've got the cost of gas. Now, gas is an important factor in Los Angeles. We are a car culture, car-centric city. We're very sprawled out, so you need a car when you move to Los Angeles. It's really no getting around it. We have some mass transportation. If you want to hear about the problems that we have with it, check out some of my other videos about Los Angeles lifestyle. But we're about average price of gallon is $5.10. And that'll only go up in the summer because we have our summer blend. We have additional taxes here in California when it comes to gas. We have more environmental restrictions that leads to a higher price in gas. And because you need your car so much, and because you're stuck in traffic, burning fuel, burning gas, just idling on the freeways or the streets, you go through it quicker. So you're spent a lot more of your budget is for gas. So sticking with the automotive theme, cost of auto insurance is really expensive in Los Angeles with an average price of $2,200. Most of the country, the average is half of that. So really expensive to drive your car, insure your car. And of course, car purchases here are expensive too, because we've got pretty high sales tax here, about 9.25% in Los Angeles. And that'll vary depending on where you are in the county of Los Angeles. If you're moving here with a family and daycare is a concern, it's about $1,400 to $2,000 for childcare before kindergarten. After kindergarten, obviously, it's free or part of your taxes that you pay for public education. But you can spend about $1,400 to $2,000 a month for your kid. That's really expensive when you compare it to other parts of the country. And if you want a night out on the town, a little break from your kids, and you want to pay a babysitter, you can expect to pay about $25 an hour for that. So it really adds up. And so I'll again say, if you're not prepared for that cost difference. Now, if you're coming from a large city, New York, San Francisco, Chicago, Philadelphia, and so forth, the cost of living is probably equivalent. And maybe it's a little higher from where you're coming from, so a little bit of a break. But a lot of people move here from places where it's a lot less expensive. So you just need to be prepared. And if you're not, you will absolutely have regret when moving to Los Angeles, when you realize you may not be able to afford the lifestyle that you hope for and dream for when making that move to LA. Then I mentioned lifestyle because there's so many things to do in Los Angeles, endless things to do. You get kind of caught up, or you want to be a part of all of the entertainment here in LA. Well, that adds up. So if you're moving from a place, again, that's a little bit more suburban, or there's just not as many things to do, so you're not spending your money to do so, or friends and family get together maybe more at your house or at the park. When you go to LA, of course, you get lots of outdoor activities, and that is a way to kind of offset some of the costs because you can take advantage of that year round. But there are a lot of people that do like many forms of entertainment. There are a lot of cultural events, festivals, music concerts, all throughout the year, all year long. Every weekend you can find something really cool to do, which always means that there's something that you can spend your money on. And sometimes in LA, there are certain sections or population of LA that it's about image, and some people get caught up in that, unfortunately, when moving to Los Angeles. For me, it was never a big deal. I was born and raised in LA. That whole image thing, people get caught up on, the Hollywood, Beverly Hills, not my style, not my thing. But people do get caught up in it. They feel like they have to keep up with their neighbors, keep up with their friends, keep up with their family. So some people may feel caught up and feel pressure to participate in those activities, which maybe they normally wouldn't, going over budget and spending money that they were budgeting for something else. So again, highly recommend, do your research, reach out to my team and I. We can give you some better idea and give you a guide on certain cost of living factors here in Los Angeles. So before you make that move, so you don't have the regrets, realizing maybe LA is just unaffordable, because for many people it is. And that's why a lot of people do move outside of Los Angeles, because affordability just doesn't make sense for them. Thankfully, a lot of people, before they relocate to Los Angeles from other areas, they do reach out to my team and I. In fact, that contact information is probably popping up right about now. Don't hesitate. Reach out. Be happy to help you and guide you. We love helping people move to and from Los Angeles, relocate here. And if you like what you're seeing while you're here, make sure you subscribe to the channel, see my other videos, hit the like button, comment below. I always like to hear what people's concerns are. If you fear there's certain things that you may regret, that you feel like you may regret making the move here, I'd like to hear about that below. Let's jump into the next topic of what people express their concerns to me about before moving here, and that is not necessarily aspiring to their goals of why they moved to Los Angeles, because not everything that glitters is gold in Los Angeles. And a lot of people move here for the entertainment industry, and people want to make it big because that's what the sales is, right? You see it on TV shows, you see it in movies, blogs. You got tons of YouTube influencers here in Los Angeles that talk about making it big here in LA. Well, there's a lot of factors that play into that. And there's a lot of people moving to Los Angeles to make it big in the entertainment industry. People want to be actors, writers, producers, whatever it is in the entertainment field. It's the dream. It's what draws people to LA. Be a part of Hollywood, be a part of the glitz and glamour in Beverly Hills, Santa Monica, Brentwood, all these major areas that sell the lifestyle, sell the dream. And while a lot of people come here and do achieve that because Los Angeles does provide that opportunity, And that's one of the things I actually absolutely love about Los Angeles is that you can be anybody you want to be. You can do anything you want to do here in Los Angeles because we have it all here. And I can understand why people are drawn to that. But you just want to make sure that you don't get caught up in it and you don't lose focus of your goals, and making sure that you become that the process is just as important as the outcome, because it can take a long time before you make it big in this industry, just because you're competing with so many other people. Same goes for the tech industry. We've had a massive tech boom. We've got Silicon Beach now, not just Silicon Valley in the northern Bay Area of California, but we've got Silicon Beach with all your major tech companies parking their businesses right here in the Los Angeles area, and all these startups and supportive tech companies coming here. Everyone wants to have the next big thing and the next big startup. Well, a lot of these businesses fail, and you don't necessarily hear about that because no one shares. A lot of people don't share their fail stories. They share their success stories. So if you're coming here for that part of the industry, you got to make sure that you have realistic expectations that it's probably not going to be an overnight success. Most of them aren't. They grind it out. They take a long time. These businesses fail, and then people pick themselves up, create a new business, and you just want to be prepared for that. Maybe have a plan B. I'm a big person for going after your goals, setting them, going after it. Maybe not necessarily having plan B right next to you, but you just want to have that sense of reality that things are going to take a little bit longer than probably expected or maybe desired. I'm all about throwing gasoline on the fuel when you're starting to create something and you want to go after it. You just have to know that there are tons of people moving here for those same reasons. So there could be a lot of regret if you come here and you don't make it right away. You don't make it big right away, and it's taking you months, years to get to where you want to be. Some people end up quitting before that and not seeing it through because it's just too much, because there's too much regret of like, oh my gosh, I made this mistake. I poured my heart and soul into this and it didn't pop for me in the first year. And that's unfortunate because a lot of times it'll take longer than that. The other thing you want to make sure is you want to have a plan before moving here, whether it's you're creating your own company or you have a job lined up, because there's too many people that come here. Sometimes they're moving in with friends or family or roommates. They don't necessarily have something lined up. They just want to move to LA because if I move to LA, I'm going to make it. Well, that's a tough one because we just went over the cost of living being super expensive, and that can really drive somebody back out of Los Angeles. So if you don't have something lined up already, the job market out here is highly, highly competitive. You are getting the best and the brightest from all over the world coming here, seeking those positions, seeking what you may be seeking out. So there could be a lot of regret if you move here and don't have all your ducks lined up. Now, this next topic I'm going to jump into is something that is actually unexpected and really can't be planned for. And that's why I'm hoping you're watching more and more of my videos here, because I'm trying to prepare you for that move to Los Angeles. And that is, people tend to get really overwhelmed after moving here. And that's the one thing I'll actually say. I mentioned people ask me about my past clients moving to LA. And it's not so much that they have regrets, and they don't, but almost all of them have said that they felt overwhelmed at first, especially people moving from smaller cities to Los Angeles. LA is an enormous city. We're about 500 square miles. And more importantly, or more of a factor, is that we're a sprawled out city. There's no real city center. Yes, we have a downtown Los Angeles, and yes, it is being revitalized. And yes, more and more people are moving to the downtown area because more money is being pumped into it. It's becoming more of a destination, but that's not what LA is about. And frankly, I don't think LA will ever be about its downtown. We're all about our different neighborhoods, our different pocket cities within the city of Los Angeles. And that could be overwhelming for someone who comes here thinking, well, I'm going to go to Los Angeles. I know I'm going to go. I want to go to this downtown and feel part of this connection to LA. Well, in my opinion, in my experience, LA is not really about its center. And that could be really defeating to people, because now you've got to figure out, well, what part of LA am I going to get connected to? And it really depends on where you live and what your goals are and what type of lifestyle you want, because LA has so many different types of lifestyles that you can live that you've got to kind of seek it out. And you got to do your research and figure out what fits you, what's going to meet your wants and needs, what's going to feel more like home to you. And that can lead to a lot of people feeling lost. You come into a big city, it's sprawled out. There's not one area where everyone's coming to. It's very compartmentalized, and you really got to go seek out your niche, seek out your people, seek out your lifestyle. Once you do, it's fantastic because now you know where to go and you don't have to deal with the rest of the city, meaning you're not stuck in traffic and it's not taking forever to get to somewhere where you don't necessarily want to be. So when people do move here, even from large cities like a New York or a Boston or a Philadelphia, Chicago, a San Francisco, a Portland, it's people are coming here expecting what their lifestyle would be there when you're comparing to another major city, and LA is just not that. Also, people get overwhelmed by how overcrowded and how congested and how many tourists are in Los Angeles. And that in itself can really make you feel like you're a small fish in a large pond. And it takes a lot of getting used to. And that's one thing for sure my clients have expressed to me. And the other part is, how do you meet people in a city that's so sprawled out? And again, I don't think people really truly can appreciate and understand what I'm talking about unless they've visited here or come here, or again, I've seen some of my other videos and the maps that I've pulled up on just how big the city is. So what I always encourage people to do when they move to Los Angeles is, based on their interest, based on your interest, make sure you seek out your community, whether it's sports, the arts, outdoor adventure, outdoor activities, cultural activities, whatever it is that you're into, you're going to need to seek it out. And even for me as a local, a native who born and raised in Los Angeles, I'm a big sports enthusiast. So I joined softball leagues. I like to coach. So I went to my local Parks and Rec, got involved with the youth sports programs there. I'm a big outdoor person. So I actually created my own walking group in my neighborhood. I joined walking groups and hiking groups for the Santa Monica Mountains. So you got to really go after it, because if you don't, you can just get caught up in the hustle. You can get caught up with feeling overwhelmed, feeling disconnected. But you got to kind of take a step back, take a big breath. You've got to do a lot of breathing when moving to Los Angeles because there's so much going on. And when you can sit down with yourself and think, like, what are my interests, and go after it and seek it, because there are a ton of groups that get together. There are a lot of opportunities to meet people. It's just that you have to go after it. And the people here, despite what you hear, despite what you may see in the movies or television shows or news, we're very welcoming people here in Los Angeles because we're a melting pot. So many people from all over the world live in LA. So you can find like-minded people, whatever it is that you're into, you can find people that you will connect with. And people that have moved here love to connect with other people that are moving to Los Angeles from other parts too, because you shared that same experience, that same connection of moving to a massive city and going through the process of what it's like to live in Los Angeles. So will you have regrets when moving to Los Angeles? That's going to be a very personal question that you're going to have to answer. But again, if you do your research before moving here, have things figured out before moving here, I think that'll lessen the chances of having those regrets. And again, that's not to say that people don't regret it here or they don't move away from LA, because we've seen a lot of people leave the city of Los Angeles. Los Angeles does have its share of problems. We've got a massive homeless problem. We do have an uptick in crime. We have an affordability problem in here. And we have a congestion problem in here, a traffic problem. There's a lot of issues that you will encounter when moving to Los Angeles. A lot of other big cities experience this as well. So if you're moving from another big city, probably not as much of a factor. But if you're moving from a smaller town, a smaller city, that could definitely affect how you feel when moving to LA. But again, it depends on what your drive is, what your goals are. Why are you moving to a fantastic city? I love Los Angeles. So much to offer. Again, check out some of my other videos about the lifestyle here, pocket neighborhoods. You'll learn more about it. Make sure you reach out to my team and I if you're thinking about making that relocation. The contact information is popping up again, I'm sure. So contact us below. My team and I would love to help you. Subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Again, comment below. Would love to hear what your concerns are, what you think you may regret. And if you are thinking, or if you've moved here and you're thinking about moving away, you can reach out to me as well and let me know why. I always like to add more information to my clients and maybe make more videos about people and how they feel about Los Angeles.